What's up, everybody, and welcome to episode 10 of That 90s Spider-Man Show, where we talk about episode by episode of the 90s Spider-Man cartoon and make jokes, occasionally analysis. I'm your host today, I'm Henry, and alongside me, it's getting real tired of my shit, it's Jack.
Yeah, I'm fucking real tired of that shit. I'm shocking tired of it. That's what I am.
Yeah, he's really shocked off by this point. But no, welcome to another episode of That 90s Spider-Man Show. Thanks for tuning in. We're up to episode 10 now, and today we're rounding off the Alien Costume Trilogy with none other than our big black friend. Not me, but Venom.
Just imagine if you were trying to name Venom. You're like, oh, what's that guy's name? You know, Spider-Man's big black friend? You'd be like, what, Luke Cage? Robbie Robertson?
Blade?
Yeah, he doesn't have many black friends, actually, now I think about it.
Yeah, Spider-Man might be... I guess he has a few.
The other one is... I've forgotten his name, but Robbie Robertson's son, which I don't think counts. It's that one black guy I know has a black son.
Yeah, and we're cool. War Machine, does he count?
I don't think they're friends. I don't think he's friends with Blade either. I think Blade hates him.
Yeah, I don't imagine Spider-Man and Blade hang out too often. They're different energies completely.
No, we're talking about a different black guy who's recently played by Tom Hardy. But no, it's not horrible blackface. It is CGI.
Yeah, which makes it better, if anything.
Yeah, for a little bit of context, it's Venom.
Context.
We're talking about Venom.
Talk about Venom.
Don't be too scared. You don't need to cancel Tom Hardy just yet.
No, not yet. It's coming, but not yet. Not for this blackface incident.
But yeah, so we're talking about the Alien Costume Part 3, which is the final one of this mini saga, which has gone through surprisingly fast. We both kind of assumed that by the end of the third episode of this trilogy, Spider-Man would have lost the costume and Venom would have been hinted at, and we would have seen him way later. But we've actually seen him at the end of the second one. We got him teased, and then this is the Venom episode, and they rush through it. Well, we'll get into it.
We'll get right into it. We'll swing right in. Where were we at the end of last episode?
Last episode, Spider-Man was in the bell tower. He'd gotten rid of the symbiote suit, ran away in his boxers.
As you do.
Shocker watched him go while webbed up, a bit confused about what was going on, why Spider-Man just took all his clothes off and ran away into the night. And meanwhile, he left Eddie webbed up, and the symbiote went straight onto him, and they vowed revenge. And that's where we start off this episode as well. Eddie Brock is lifting weights.
He's getting all angry.
Yeah, he's in a place that's covered in articles about Spider-Man and photos of him. It's very unclear that where he got a new apartment and how much time has passed either.
Yeah.
Because it's definitely not... Well, I suppose it could be the next day?
I hope not.
Yeah, it definitely feels like time has passed, but they never specify anything.
I feel like Eddie lifting weights for one morning isn't really much point in that.
Oh yeah, that's the point. Yeah. Okay, so it has to be
I did 10 sit-ups and now I'm ready to fight Spider-Man.
Even if it was a month, that wouldn't be that impressive. But I guess, well, actually no, maybe he's literally got nothing else to do because he's got no fucking job.
He's
he lifts weights all day and then he goes, steals some food, goes to the unemployment office or whatever,
picks up his benefits.
Yeah, exactly. Goes back. I guess maybe he doesn't need food anymore.
No, true.
But he still needs rent.
Yeah, he's a pay rent somehow.
Yeah, maybe you can actually get by on welfare if you just don't eat any food or hang out with anyone, don't do anything apart from pay your rent
and lift weights. He has to rent out this gym equipment, right? He has to be paying for that.
Yeah. Fucking Theresa May's universal credit system wouldn't have even covered fucking Venom. He's completely a self-sufficient alien. It still wouldn't have.
Yeah.
Let's keep it topical.
Good topical. Politics.
Yeah.
Hard-hitting stuff here on That 90s Spider-Man Show. We talk about everything, just not the actual 90s.
Just to
TV
make
show.
it clear, shock you, Theresa May.
Yeah. Go shock yourself. You were the worst shocking Prime Minister we've ever had, and can't really shock because of you.
Yeah, that's fair.
So where are we?
Now we lost her.
Yeah, God. She was the most vocal commenter as well.
Wow.
Big old teenager. Yeah.
Anyway, go back to Eddie Brock. He's in this new place. Don't know how he's got it. Don't know how much time's passed. One thing that's really notable at this scene is that the way he says symbiote, he says, and it's the only time it's ever said this way in the whole thing, but he says symbiote.
Okay, not symbiote.
Symbiote or symbiote. I don't know, but he proper hard. It's a hard T on the end.
Yeah, symbiote.
Yeah, which is weird because then there was that whole thing where everyone grew up on this show being the place where they heard symbiote.
Yeah.
And otherwise it was on the page or whatever. And other shows went
Yeah.
with symbiote. And then there was that trailer for the Venom movie where suddenly it was like symbiote or something. And everyone lost their minds, which is really funny to me. And then they fucking changed it for the movie, which is even better.
It's hilarious, really.
Yeah.
Jenny Slate got like reprimanded for her
Yeah,
pronunciation.
it was all on Jenny Slater as well.
She probably
She
looked it up.
personally chose or
Yeah.
whatever.
She went rogue.
But also the word symbiote is just fucking made up as well. Like there's symbiotic relationship.
Or a symbiosis. But like,
Yeah, symbiosis or symbiotic.
Yeah.
Where the I is pronounced that way, right?
Yeah.
So it would actually make sense for it to be symbiote.
But it
or
sounds
symbiote.
stupid.
But yeah, symbiote sounds better.
Yeah.
And it's just made up.
Rejected the symbiote. Only wanted to make you stronger. Well, surprise, surprise. Now, we're one.
But anyway, that's off topic. Just talking about the pronunciation of that one word. But
It's a very important word in this episode.
yeah, past that, he's recalling all the shitty things Spider-Man did to him, like just flashing back to, and there's quite a lot. He even I think he skips over a few things because there's a lot.
I haven't got time to go through the
Yeah,
bullshit.
because something shit happened to him in almost every single episode.
Yeah.
There's like 9 episodes of bullshit happening to him. He's been fired 3 times.
Yeah.
Twice by the same guy. All of which were sort of Spider-Man's fault in some way.
Like he showed up and then everything went to shit.
Yeah, exactly. And that's when we get our first official reveal of Venom. We've seen a few glimpses of him, or foreshadowing, and we've seen him in silhouette and stuff, but then we get the full look of him as the symbiote covers over his body.
Yeah.
Which I love the way it animates to cover over him.
Yeah.
I think it looks really cool.
Kind of like swallows him a little bit. It's great.
And the mouth kind of swallows his head in reverse. It's a really cool
Great.
image. That's at one point where he says why his name comes in here. He says that he is poison to Spider-Man. That's why he's going to call himself Venom.
Rather than just showing up and going, "Hi, I'm Venom."
Yeah, it's one of those things though. I think maybe they would. I can imagine this happening in the movie, but I feel like in the Saturday morning cartoon, it's like I don't think anyone's like, "Hey, wait, why is he calling himself Venom?" You
But
know?
it does sound really cool.
Yeah, I guess it's like, funnily enough, there's a different reason why he calls himself that in the comics, but I'll get into later.
Oh shit.
But it's a way worse reason.
Amazing.
It's not a worse reason, it's just weird. And
Okay.
you'll be like, really? That's where it came from? Especially when Venom is like, you can make a connection like they did here, and it makes more sense. But
I thought about it like a little bit. They were like, "This is so much better."
yeah, I'll get into that in a bit.
Okay.
Meanwhile, we got Spider-Man swinging. He's happy to be back in his old costume. However long it's been, he seems to be like, he's happy. He's got a date later with MJ. Everything's good. He's ridded himself of the symbiote. As far as he knows, it's dead. And nothing really, there was no huge consequences through what happened.
No.
I guess it all just blew over.
Yeah.
And then he swings by the Rhino, who's just
Standing.
stood on a rooftop, like gazing out, like looking for him. And then when he lands, he's like, "Oh, I've been waiting for you," and starts fighting him. But you're like, how long was he there? Like, does he know where like Spider-Man is going to be?
He doesn't care. He's getting paid by the hour, so he's it's like freelance Rhino like gig economy rate.
Yeah. He's literally just like out there looking for a job.
Yeah.
But he's not alone because fellow jobber Shocker.
He's formed a union.
Yeah, he did form a union in the end.
Yeah.
Shit, and he
He
realized.
expanded it from Rhino People Only to like other costume supervillains.
Yeah, exactly. As long
He's
as
doubled his like admittance rate.
Shocker comes in, ambushes Spider-Man.
Spider-Man makes a really good crack about like, internet dating, which was probably...
Yeah, but then he doesn't say internet dating; he says computer dating, which definitely dates it.
This was 1995.
Yeah, because I remember way later than that. The idea of internet dating, even when we were calling it that, it was more about, okay, there was the Match.com where you went through a long process, and it was for people in their 40s and 50s who were a bit older and wanted to find love but didn't want to fuck around with going on random dates. They were like, oh, let's find someone who likes the same stuff as me that I can email a bit, and then we meet up and see how it goes. Yeah. Whereas now it's a way more streamlined app process and
like back in the day, it was probably like a level above like Mail Order Brides.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Although saying that, I don't know why I'm describing the history of online dating to people everywhere.
Because it's that 90s Spider-Man show. It's vital.
Yeah, I don't know who am I speaking to right now. Surely they know what's going on.
Clearly, no one who listens to this podcast fucks, I don't think.
Yeah, but I don't think that's because they don't know what internet dating is.
Oh, sure.
It's because they're shocking losers. Sorry, guys.
You are.
I mean,
you know this.
You're losers in a good way, you know.
Like, you're the best kind of loser.
Apart from Theresa May, that's just a loser.
No,
right there,
you're just a gentleman, just the worst, and we hate you. The rest of you are you're cool losers. You're like top level of losers.
Like
Peter
nerds,
Parker
like
kind, yeah.
like the ending of Revenge of the Nerds when they're all together and all the nerds are chanting nerds, 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 and all hugging because they're like, we're nerds and we've been persecuted throughout the ages. They literally use the word persecuted. It's very weird.
Wow.
Yeah.
Having not seen that movie, this is.
There's a lot of shit that doesn't hold up in that movie. There's a bit.
How long ago was it? Like,
Would you know the panty raid thing, where their big plan is to steal underwear from the girls as revenge, like the popular girls, and it involves one of the main characters stood in a woman's shower in all black and a hoodie, and she opens the curtain and screams and he smiles, and it's meant to be like this funny gag, but it's fucking terrifying. She would think I'm about to get murdered. Like, this is the start of a slasher movie.
what the fuck?
I'm not going to go into it anymore, but that is like one of the least problematic things in that movie. That movie is ridiculous.
Holy shocking shit.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm going to get back on track, but
Wow. I forgot how we got here.
yeah, sorry, Revenge of the Nerds fans.
Your movie, it did not age well.
Well, that Animal House is the same, but Revenge of the Nerds is probably worse.
It's probably more recent. It's like late 80s, isn't it?
Is 84.
Shit, really?
The thing is, it's always hard to say when you weren't around when something came out. Animal House 78, so it's 6 years. It's weird how they feel like they're the opposite way around, but well, there's weird stuff in like Animal Pie, American Pie.
Oh yeah.
There's weird stuff in that where
Yeah.
you're like, that's not cool.
Yeah.
There's lots of stuff like that.
Even like Ace Ventura.
It's just hard.
Chicks.
It's just hard to know when something is bad for the time or not. Because sometimes we write things off of like it was just the time everyone was like that, and then someone from the time comes on and goes, it wasn't like that. This like some of the James Bond movies. It's like the level of sexism in that was bad for the 60s.
Yeah,
you know,
especially sexist.
Yeah, and it was sort of known for that, but people weren't criticizing it as much. You know, but anyway, this is a whole different topic. Luckily, there's none of that in here. But there is a creepy stalker man.
Oh, fantastic! That's what I'm here for.
Yeah, who interrupts the life of Spider-Man at this moment, but in a good way, because Shocker knocks Spider-Man back into a giant billboard of J. Jonah Jameson.
Just collapses on him. It's like,
Yeah.
It's really kind of just tacky as hell. It's classic JJ. It's like the fifth J in like the triple J thing. It's like you got Justice, you got like Judaism, you got Jamiroquai, you got Jingoism, sorry, not Judaism. You've got, from last episode, we've got a bit of journalistic integrity.
Yeah.
And now we've got a jumbo-sized, like, statue man.
I like this. Let's keep going, because that's 6 if we're counting Judaism.
Yeah, we're counting Judaism, I think.
Maybe we'll have a new one next one.
Yeah, I feel like we should keep on, like, just trying to stack them up.
Just make this podcast less and less accessible each week. Each one is like a callback to a callback to a callback to a callback, and then on our final episode we'll get Charlie Kaufman and we'll go,
go all the way through.
we'll go so meta that like
We'll appear on our own podcast as ourselves, have ourselves as guests.
yeah, and then we'll listen to our podcast and we'll podcast about what we think about that podcast.
That would be super fun. Nicolas Cage can like pretend to be us from a different time.
God, no one saw that movie actually.
I mean, they haven't seen it yet because I'm still writing.
Oh, you still haven't seen it? Wait, I thought you saw it.
What?
Adaptation.
Oh, I saw that. Yeah.
Oh, right, yeah.
I was talking about like a different movie where like Nicolas Cage plays a future version of us.
Yeah. Obviously, you haven't seen a film where Nicolas Cage plays you. That's not. I don't want him to do that. I know you want him to do it, but
absolutely want him to do that.
Still blackface if you want him to do it. You know? Doesn't matter.
What if he's not black?
What? Then there's whitewashing.
What if there's like a story like based reason for him to be
There's
a white
no
dude?
way for Nicolas Cage to play you that isn't somehow offensive.
I mean, that's challenge accepted.
Genuinely don't know what happens when the object of offence is not offended. I don't know what happens then. Do we all just stop and
Just let it go.
Okay, this is the one time.
Nicolas Cage gets the one-time pass away of blackface.
God, no, that's not. You don't have permission, Nick.
Sorry, man. I tried. I tried everything I could.
Well, anyway, back in this episode, Spider-Man's buried under rubble from the billboard, and before he can be attacked further by Rhino and Shocker, they're attacked by Venom. He kind of kicks their asses really quickly, webs them up, and Spider-Man kind of emerges out of the rubble and sees them already webbed up and is like, wait, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Sorry, what the shock?
The shock?
Then Eddie appears, not as Venom, just as Eddie,
Yeah.
offers his hand to help him up, referring to himself as we, and then as he helps him up, then goes like, so should I just call you Peter Parker? And reveals that he knows his identity as well.
Yeah.
And that's when things get weirder, because you think that there's enough drama in this scene anyway to be like, Spider-Man seeing a thing he thought that was gonna not come back is now back. It's on Eddie Brock, who now knows everything about him and is threatening him, and they start to fight and he's clearly stronger, and he's trying to say like, no, take the suit off, it's dangerous, like it's gonna want you, it's gonna control you. Then it gets weird because then Venom reveals that the symbiote, Eddie says that they're part of a life force that has existed since the dawn of time, with knowledge of thousands of worlds and civilization, has learned how to survive in the cosmos. And the weird thing about this, and which I think actually kind of works in a metaphor they did not intend, is that you think about all this limitless knowledge, and it's just being used for revenge on one guy, and it's just using to troll him, to fuck with him and all this stuff, and it's infinite knowledge of thousands of millions of civilizations and worlds in the universe, and he says that the symbiote is sharing this knowledge with him, but then he's just like being an asshole. He's not wise at all.
It's
He's
literally
just
a metaphor for the internet.
exactly spot on. That was like exactly what I thought, because I was like, you have all this knowledge and then you act like a troll, and that's every fucking dude on the internet who's just being an asshole on Twitter and harassing people, when he has so much knowledge. You can learn about fucking anything on the internet.
You can learn everything you need to know about the world. You're like, no, I'm going to talk shit to this one person on Twitter because they said something about Star Wars that I didn't like.
Yeah, I'm gonna, there's so much knowledge out there. I'm gonna learn how to use Final Cut. I'm gonna spend all this money on technology. I'm gonna like get into YouTube. I'm gonna get on some message boards. I can learn about so much. Yeah, let's make 20 videos in a row about Captain Marvel. Like, it's crazy, and that's
it's
what.
So Albert Einstein, if you told him what's going to happen in like 50 years, is that they'll create this incredible like information highway.
Yeah.
We can learn anything, but we use it to like harass people on Twitter. He just burst into tears.
We should have nuked it.
Yeah,
instead.
I should have let you all die.
Nuke it from orbit.
Tears of Abe aside.
Yeah, Venom's there, and he keeps like disappearing and reappearing and attacking him, and Spider-Man realizes that it's not setting off his spider sense whatsoever. No. And not only that, but he's stronger, his webbing is more powerful, everything is amped up. It's also worth mentioning, I guess most people know what Venom looks like, but going by the Venom in the movie doesn't really look like Venom that much. I mean, it's like, kind of there. It's
like the most cinematic they can make it look, and it still looks like shit. But...
Yeah, I think I don't really know how you would do it, because it's got to be kind of a gloopy, gross gloop man.
But he looks disgusting. He looks sweaty.
What I think they should have done, which is stick with the features of this, which I prefer, which I think maybe they couldn't do because there's no Spider-Man in the story.
Yeah.
But the big white spider completes it, and he also has like these like white trapezoid shapes on the backs of his hands,
where the webbing comes from.
Yeah, and it's a very simple design, but it works, and it also works as this scary mirror image of Spider-Man,
especially with the eyes.
Yeah, where the eyes are the same but have pupils in them and actually part of his face, and then he has a natural mouth parting rather than the mask, and the sharp teeth and the long tongue. It's like a monstrous version of him. And
Yeah.
I think that looks really good in that context, especially when you have Spider-Man back in his red and blue suit. So it's a big contrast there. And I think, in the movie, they don't have the white spider or anything. It's all black.
Yeah.
But then because they realised that that's kind of a bit boring, they added a fuckload of veins to it, which it just makes it look even grosser.
It's so disgusting. Like,
Yeah. Anyway, moving on from...
swiftly on.
And sharply avoiding Eminem's Venom song. Venom. I still haven't heard it.
It's so bad.
Although, no, I must have heard it, right?
It's at the end of the movie.
So the end of the movie.
Like,
I don't remember.
It like fades to black and he goes like Venom, Venom, Venom.
When they get me with the venom, I got that adrenaline, venom, not knowing when I'm never gonna slow up and I'm ready to snap any momentum.
I don't know, maybe I'll have to listen to it for this podcast because I'll edit it in to just play like the worst line from it I can find. I think
It's like a line about Eddie Brock. It's like one of those like 90s like movies where they rap like the whole plot of the movie.
Oh, they should have got Will Smith to do it. That would have been way better. Then I would have actually liked it, because I would be like, this is trash, but it's great,
This is a story about all that.
Yeah, cut to Stevie Wonder sample number 200. They should have used just use Little Sim's Venom. That's a good song.
That's a much better song.
There's even some lyrics in that. I think that, she definitely didn't make that about Eddie Brock, but there's probably more lyrics in that kind of.
It's much more like sinister and intimidating. Than,
it's got like some sinister edge to it. Fucking
Jesus, man.
But again, it's almost perfect.
It's kind of perfect.
I feel like the crossover between the hardcore Venom fans and the Eminem fans is...
It's a very, very, very close Venn diagram.
It's a circle.
It's pretty much a circle.
Phone home, ain't no telling when this chokehold on this game will end. I'm loco. Became a symbiote, so my fangs are in your throat hole. You're snake bitten with my...
Anyway, going past that, Venom ends up just leaving him because he's just like, I'm going to be haunting your nightmares. I'll be wherever you go, and just disappears to freak him out. So Spider-Man ends up trying to look into this and deal with it. So he heads to Eddie's old apartment where he finds a receipt for exercise equipment. And then he goes to the Bugle where he finds an ad for gym equipment rental, which just has this buff dude in his underwear. Which
also like Schwarzenegger dude.
Yeah, and he looks it in and it transforms into to Venom with the dumbbells posing. It's really weird.
It's really funny, actually.
Yeah, you can see he's starting to get paranoid. But then he calls up this company to get
details
of where the equipment was sent.
Yeah.
Then Robbie appears, giving him. It's like, you wanted articles about Eddie. Here you go. Why do you want these? And Peter's like, a school project. And it's like, why? It's actually kind of weird. Like, why would you want all this stuff on this guy?
For a school project.
Yeah.
I don't know. Robbie Robertson is too pure for this world. He doesn't suspect anything of Peter Parker.
Yeah, does he not know that Peter's studying physics or biochemistry or something?
Yeah, some kind of science degree.
Yeah, some kind of science degree. It doesn't involve journalism or anything.
Get a grip, Parker. You're starting to lose it.
That's when JJ arrives with John in a wheelchair.
Wheelchair?
Fucking hell.
It's back from his girlfriend.
Oh, my Tory leapt out at me. JJ arrives with John in a wheelchair. He's kind of recovering, but mostly fine. Turns out there's a satellite being launched that has been named after him, which is called the John Jameson probe.
He looks heavily sedated in this part.
Yeah, he's got this action man head. He's just staring into space. It's clearly he's not the focus of the animation, so when you watch it, you're not really focusing on him, so it's fine. But then if you do look at him, you're like, whoa, what the fuck? This guy's comatose.
He's fucked up. He's not even wearing any pants.
Oh yeah, shit, he isn't wearing pants, is he? It looks like he's just being half dressed. And speaking of half dressed, Peter goes to get changed into Spider-Man suit in the alley.
Yeah.
Just as he's thinking, wow, without my spider sense, Eddie could be anywhere. And then he just looks up and Eddie's just on the wall. Not as Venom, just as Eddie, just clinging to the wall, watching him get changed, being a complete perv. He changes into Venom and he's just starts pontificating about wonder what people would do if they found out your secret identity and stuff like that. Runs off and Spider-Man chases after him. They start fighting on the roof. He breaks off part of a fan, right?
Yeah.
And he throws it at Spider-Man, which lodges in the wall. Then he starts taunting him about Aunt May and Mary Jane. He's clearly knows everything about his life and knows who he could attack. And he ties him up with his webbing, which is like more powerful and stuff, so he can't break out.
Yeah.
Sort of gets him like he's like a puppet.
Yeah, kind of dangles him off the roof.
Yeah, and at which point, like,
there's a crowd like below.
yeah, who just I don't know why they're there. They're just already gathered there.
They get there really fast. Like searchlights and all that shit, like right away.
Yeah, and
Or
they're all
it's,
looking
like,
up.
nearby.
And then he pulls off the mask and starts holding him there. At which point, Jameson, like, loving it, and he grabs the camera off a random guy and tries to focus and completely ruins it, because obviously the cameraman could have done it, but Jameson is struggling to zoom in and
like
focus.
He has that boomer struggle thing of like, if you let a millennial do it, like
Yeah, he can't rotate the PDF.
yeah. How do I work this contraption? This goddamn doohickey.
Yeah, and then Venom starts like explicitly threatening MJ. He's being a huge creep.
He's being an asshole.
And Spider-Man rips off the fan blade that had hit the wall and cuts the webbing.
Yeah. Oh, and there's also that bit where like his mask falls on the ground and this like random guy just picks it up.
Yeah, because he throws the mask and it goes all the way to the bottom.
Yeah.
And that guy like puts it on. What does he say? Like, I'm Spider-Man.
Oh, I'm Spider-Man now. And he starts like doing his poses and shit.
Yeah, it's really. And also the mask, like when he puts it on, it's like it doesn't fit his head at all, and it's like, wait, is Spider-Man's head massive?
Or that guy's head was really small, but there's like a head discrepancy.
Yeah.
Because yeah, like he's a really big guy anyway.
He's got a head like Beaker.
Check it out, dude. His mask is off. I'm Spider-Man.
Yeah, and then once he's cut the webbing, he like swings away and he goes by and he grabs like a random like flagpole and he rips off this flag and like
ties around his face.
Yeah, it's like a impromptu mask. Interesting thing, I looked up, it's a light blue flag. It just looks like entirely light blue. Yeah. The only light blue flag I could find that's entirely that colour, no other colours, is the flag from Cochabamba in Bolivia. So sorry guys, he just desecrated your flag.
Spider-Man can never go to Bolivia now.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. It's going to be
He's
news,
Cochabamba, but...
Moving on from that god-awful pun, Peter goes to the theatre, which he has a date with MJ.
Yeah.
And he's still obviously paranoid.
Pretty shaken up.
Yeah, he's pretty scared about Venom. And of course, Eddie is there. This whole episode, he's popping up like Gene Parmesan. Like, you know, yeah, you didn't notice that I was going to be here. It turns out he's already introduced himself to MJ as a friend. But Peter immediately like shoves him and then grabs him and runs away. And Eddie starts following them. And Peter just says like, oh, he's a weirdo. Which I think is actually 100% true and believable in that instance. So
this guy's clearly crazy.
Yeah, it's actually a weird thing where you think it would be really hard for him to explain this, but the idea of that being this guy who is a creep and is following them around is a thing that could happen. Yeah. Especially when if you know who Eddie Brock is, you're like, oh, that guy who like faked photos and did all this bullshit.
Crazy nefarious shit to Spider-Man.
Yeah, he was like, yeah, then you'd understand that maybe he hates Peter Parker or something.
Yeah.
He ends up taking her down to the subway where he kind of gets away from them, and he just asks MJ to trust him.
Yeah.
And presumably she just goes home because next time we see him, he's at Aunt May's house.
Yeah. He just gets home and she's like, what happens, you bitch? Did you strike out?
Oh, yeah. She's like really disappointed that he didn't.
He didn't fuck.
Yeah, and then he's been home for like 5 seconds and the doorbell goes and then fucking Eddie is there again like, hey guys. Does the whole same thing again with Aunt May of like being really nice, pretending to be Peter's friend. And
Aunt May has the worst judge of character in this entire show.
Yeah, every person who's slightly polite to her, she's like, what a nice boy,
what
a nice man. And Peter takes him outside like, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
Eddie pushes him down to the floor, then pushes a whole fucking tree.
And Spider-Man has to like stop this tree from crushing his like aunt's house.
And you think that the tension of this scene is that he's in Peter Parker clothes. He's got to hold up a tree.
Yeah.
He wants to protect the house, but he obviously doesn't want anyone to see him holding a whole tree up. Yeah. What does he do? He holds it and then just immediately screams. Like he does a proper yell of like, "Rah!"
It's so funny.
Eddie just leaves and
he's like screaming, holding this tree.
And I don't know what happens. Like Aunt May comes out like, "What's wrong?" And he's like, nothing. I just yelled for no reason.
Yeah, sorry, I was practicing my yodeling, Aunt May.
Yeah. Oh no, a tree fell down.
Shit. Someone called like a tree surgeon.
The next scene we go straight to Venom's arriving This is a very fast-paced episode, much
Super
like
fast-paced.
last time. But
Yeah.
Venom returns to his new apartment, but this time, like, all the Spider-Man articles he has up have been replaced with ones about Eddie being, like, fired.
Like a shit reporter.
Yeah, and then Spider-Man's outside, like, taunting him about it.
Yeah.
And and he starts chasing him and attacks him midair and, like, knocks him, and he goes fucking flying, like, down on the ground, keeps rolling, goes down the stairs to the subway, keeps rolling all the way down to the platform.
He probably bites it.
Yeah, and then they jump on the subway,
Yeah.
and they start, like, fighting on a train and chasing after each other,
Yeah.
which is a really... I like how this scene, like, changes the geography. They travel a lot, and there's different environments for them to be fighting in.
Yeah, it makes it a more interesting fight, for sure.
And the train gets out of the tunnel, but eventually Venom is knocked off by hitting a bridge. Spider-Man keeps going, at which point Venom quickly runs and steals a truck and starts driving alongside the train, and then you get this, which I mostly know from the GIF or the GIF or whatever we're saying now, of just a Spider-Man looking to his left and seeing Venom driving a truck honking the horn. It's just a great image. It's so weird.
It's really fantastic. I feel that might be the episode icon for this episode.
Oh yeah, for sure.
100%.
And he jumps out of the truck, gets back on the train. But it turns out this is all part of his plans to lead Venom to the launch site of the probe that Jonah was talking about earlier.
It's weird how they do this in one stop, how you can be in New York, and in one stop be at a fucking, like, shuttle launch. That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, but then they mention that because John and JJ are watching the launch from the viewing area. And one of the guys, like, announcing it references how it's the first one in the New York area, and it's like a big deal. So because they dropped that information, it could just be like, oh, it's the first one in this area, and we decided to have it quite near a train line.
Sure.
That's it. Yeah, like there's only like a few stops out of the city.
It's like literally one stop. They don't stop the train once. It's just like, so you're in like mainland New York, and you go for one stop out. You can see a fucking space shuttle launch.
Yeah, it's kind of amazing.
It's like, it's like being in London, and then like you go on the Jubilee line for like 10 minutes, and you're fucking at like a space shuttle launch
Yeah,
at like St. John's Wood or something.
I'm all for that.
Zone 2.
Are you listening, Sadiq? Let's make it happen.
It's like loads of fucking shuttle, man. Let's do it. Let's go. Let's go to space. Parliament in space. I'd watch it.
Spider-Man leads him onto the site, and he starts climbing up the scaffolding and luring him further up there, waiting for the engines to start so that the sound can, like, fuck up the symbiote.
Yeah.
And it does. The symbiote starts coming off him, at which point Spider-Man immediately, like, webs it up and then just lobs it onto the probe so it can be launched off into space, which is kind of a good plan. We're going to hope that this is an unmanned thing.
Yeah.
You know, it's just a probe, it's just going out, because if he just chucks on his astronauts on board, he's just killed people.
Yeah, they're all dead.
Yeah.
Oh, God. He didn't rethink that through at all.
Yeah, other thing notable here is that when the suit comes off Eddie, he's wearing trousers, you know?
He's wearing shoes.
Whereas, like, yeah, which is, I mean, I guess he was, like, just hanging around in his apartment, lifting weights with his shirt off, puts the Venom suit on, goes out. Much better idea than Spider-Man's thing of just like, oh, well, I'm just going to wear boxer shorts and then put it on.
It wasn't like a hot day and he was going to go commando. He was just like...
Oh, yeah, what that last episode when the bell tower, like, knocks the symbiote off and Shocker's webbed up and just sees a naked man run into the bushes. Going back to this, he grabs Eddie and he just runs away carrying a shirtless man. And at which point Launch Control, like, it's proper funny comedic timing as Launch Control look over at the CCTV. I don't know how they missed, like, two superpowered people fighting right next to the rocket, but they just look at the CCTV of the lift and they just see Spider-Man stood there with a shirtless man over his shoulder.
Unconscious, just like holding. Just, like,
and they're like,
shoulder.
what the fuck is going on?
I immediately call security, like, okay, that's fucked up. We need to change that.
Yeah, and they send someone in and it's just Eddie there. So he just leaves Eddie to, I don't know, like, what's going to happen to Eddie? His life's
Probably get arrested for trespassing.
Yeah, exactly. And that's a pretty big deal to do it on a NASA site or whatever.
You probably get like 20 years in prison.
Yeah.
Spider-Man!
Shit life. Yeah.
At least he's something to sleep, though. The next 20
Yeah,
years.
that's even better. Doesn't have to pay rent.
Left weights in prison.
Yeah, he's not going to do well in prison.
No.
Eddie Brock. Meanwhile, like, they send out trucks to, like, patrol the perimeter. And just cut to Spider-Man on the roof of one of them.
Yeah.
And none of them notice again, and he jumps through the fence. The security's bullshit.
That's so terrible. Where's Spider-Man? I better not look directly up.
I better not look at any of the other vehicles near me. He gets away, and then immediately just sort of congratulates himself on I dealt with like an incredibly powerful guy who had knowledge of every part of my life and could have completely destroyed it, and I just kind of owned him.
Yeah.
Cut to him on that date with MJ. She seems to have no follow-up questions to the scary man who was stalking them the other day.
She's like, yeah, cool, whatever.
Yeah, that's the way it goes. And she's just there looking up at the night sky and wondering about, is there life out there? At which point Peter sees a vision of Venom in the moon. And that's the end of the episode and the end of the alien costume trilogy.
I did it. I beat the most relentless, unforgiving opponent I've ever faced.
Ends on a really good note, actually. I think I enjoy this one much more than episode 2, for sure.
100%. I was going to say, when we were saying about it being fast-paced,
Yeah.
this one's, it's that same level of fast-paced. So much happens in all these episodes, but for some reason this one was so entertaining, because it's this weird thing, because it's a mix of genuine threat and dumb hijinks. Like, for one, like Venom, I think they keyed into what makes Venom kind of great, which is, he is scary because he is so easily overpowering him.
And he knows everything about him.
And he knows everything about him. When he's, I remember when I was a kid watching the, I have a vivid memory of watching the bit where he takes his mask off and he's holding him up.
Yeah.
And being really scared and nervous, like,
Yeah.
on the edge of my seat, like, how the fuck can he get out of this one?
Yeah.
It was so tense. I was terrified as a kid. And they kind of build up, because he is a troll and because it is Eddie Brock, it kind of makes sense that he doesn't just fuck him over straight away. He's toying with him.
Yeah.
And I think they did that. It was satisfying in the way they wrapped it up. But at the same time, interspersed throughout this, because Venom's such a weirdo, they could do dumb stuff like him in the truck honking the horn, and it becomes kind of funny.
Him just fucking with Spider-Man just because he can.
And the other thing I was going to note in the episode, which I completely forgot to say, is that first scene when we see him fighting, one of the first scenes where we see him fighting Rhino and Shocker.
Yeah.
I really like that, because then it reminds you the difference between him and when he was wearing the symbiote suit, because we've had him being aggressive and making a few jokes, but they were less funny and they were more mean.
Ragey, yeah.
They were like mean-spirited insults, whereas seeing him sort of more carefree and joking in a friendlier way, it's like you really see the stark contrast.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it's really refreshing, and I think that's a good way to show him out of the...
It felt like a Spider-Man episode, whereas like the last one didn't really feel like a Spider-Man episode in the same way.
Yeah, Dark Knight of the Soul shit.
Yeah.
You know?
And I also think that the episodes are always better when they have like a mixture between like Spider-Man and Peter Parker.
Mm-hmm.
Like the last one didn't have any Peter Parker whatsoever, but this one was like, oh, he's gonna go on a date, and this guy's trying to like fuck his life up.
Yeah,
And,
also
like, juggle that.
I think that Alien Costume Part 1 was one of those rare ones where it was more about the drama.
Yeah.
But it pulled it off really well.
Yeah.
Whereas this, I think, rode the line well in terms of being very goofy at times, but also a good plot. And it was, after building up Venom and Eddie Brock for so long, culminating it in this way was actually quite satisfying. And he did seem like a genuine threat. And yeah, it was great. And it's good to remind myself like why I liked Venom as well. Because I kind of thought maybe I didn't like Venom because I'd seen so much stuff with him that I didn't like, and because people's love for him is like over the top.
It's so over the top.
Like the idea of him being the best Spider-Man villain is a bit crazy to me.
Like the premise of the character only really works when you look at the context of the whole saga of the symbiote stuff. But as like a badder version of Spider-Man, it's like okay. The premise by itself is he's kind of like a really just kind of okay villain. Like he's just Spider-Man, but he's more bad.
But saying that, I do like what they do in this, because there is some attention in this show to like having a theme running through things, even if it is simple.
Yeah.
And whether they intended it or not, the way they use Venom to be the dark version of Spider-Man is interesting. And I think it is important that the symbiote comes from Spider-Man's past.
Yeah.
Because...
that's what makes it interesting.
Well, you mentioned in a previous episode of it being like a jilted lover.
Yeah.
And it does work in that way, but it's also this, when he's wearing the symbiote, it amps up the darker aspects of him.
Yeah.
And makes him kind of a shitty person, but once that's removed and then that becomes his enemy, it's like he's actually fighting his dark side.
Yeah.
and he's fighting his worst impulses, and he's fighting his self-destruction, and seeing that not just want to punch him, but want to actually destroy his life.
Yeah.
And all the things that are already hanging by a thread. It's really interesting to,
Yeah.
to do in that way, and it just surprised me that this was the show to do it so well. Because there's some good stuff with it in the Spectacular Spider-Man thing, but I don't think they, as far as I remembered it, I remember the symbiote stuff being good, but not necessarily
the Eddie Brock stuff was a bit.
Yeah, I remember not necessarily really liking their Venom and their Eddie Brock that much.
But Eddie Brock is like a friend of Peter Parker at school. He's not really like a dick. He's just a bit off.
I think they took a bit of a mix of the
Ultimate
one, where in the Ultimate version he's like a. I really like the Ultimate version as well. It's very different, but maybe we'll go into it in another episode one day. But in that one, Eddie Brock there was a scientist who worked with Peter's father.
Okay.
Both the scientists died, and Eddie is the son of the other guy, so they have this shared past.
Yeah.
And I think Eddie's like a year or two older. He's in college, and he's kind of the cool older kid.
Yeah.
But then he's also over time revealed to be a bit of a dick.
Yeah.
And I think someone else points it out to him, like Gwen Stacy's like, you know that guy you think's really cool? He's actually kind of a creep.
Yeah.
Which is just rings true as the thing that actual people are like. And
Yeah.
it was just a cool way to do it. And I think Spectacular Spider-Man took a little bit of that. But I don't know.
I don't think it took the right. Like, I don't know.
I can't really remember that way, so I don't want to comment on it too much.
It had room for longer as well. Like the Venom stuff. The Venom stuff takes a bit longer to like gestate. The only criticism I have of this episode is that like the Venom stuff is in and out. It's done in an episode. Whereas like the whole like teasing him thing, if that happened like over like 2 or 3 episodes, him having to like figure all that shit out while like life is happening around him, might have been a bit more like resonant. But I get what they did in one episode. And I feel
I think also it's from that time when serialized things needed to be more like you could tune in and still get what was going on.
Yeah.
So I think even with and that's why they have the whole previously on stuff.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's like they don't want to push that too far because they're aware that people were coming in and out. Like for instance, when I was watching this when I was a kid, it was like I can't remember, it was like 7 a.m. on a Saturday morning or something, and I remember there being times like someone staying over and they're sleeping in the living room where the TV is. And I'm like, okay, but I can't watch it then. And I remember just being like so upset because I'm like, there's just no way. I guess I missed that episode forever.
Yeah.
You know,
It's gone forever. Yeah.
And there was a few episodes like that. And then when they took it off TV, and it was like, oh, I guess I don't get to ever see how this show concludes because I didn't have the right box set or whatever. I didn't have cable or the Sky
or whatever, satellite.
Yeah, so I can kind of get why they did it this way. And I think if you are going to do it this way, this is probably the best way to do it. I don't think I was interested in terms of like Venom's powers, and one thing they left out here, I'm kind of glad they did.
Yeah.
You're aware of Venom using invisibility?
What?
Right, okay. Because I was always confused with this, because my main memory of this, the Spider-Man PS1 game.
Oh, yeah.
So he fucking turns invisible, he does it in the boss fight and stuff. It's like a camo thing where you can...
Like see his outline.
Like the Metal Gear Solid camo suit thing in Metal Gear Solid 4 where it's just intense camouflage. It's not entirely invisible.
But it kind of adapts to like the surroundings.
Yeah, and I remember him doing that, and I remember thinking, is that in the comics? And I looked it up, and it does happen in the comics, but it's just, I think they don't bring it in at the start. I don't know when they bring it in, and they did it for a while, and then they just sort of like pretended it never happened. Because it is camo, so it's camouflage, so it's not full invisibility, so it's not super overpowered.
Yeah.
But he already has so much of an advantage power set wise that having that as well is just kind of unnecessary. And I'm glad they left out this, although maybe they bring it in later, but I don't really remember them.
I don't recall them doing that.
So yeah, maybe we should think about this more in the future. But where does this rank in terms of the episodes? I mean, let's not go through all of them, but is this like high up there or in the middle?
I say pretty high up there, like middle to high for sure. Like I still think episode 3 is like up there. I'd say
one was episode 3 again?
Return of the Spider Slayers.
Yeah, I like that one. I like the Mysterio one.
The Craven one's good.
Oh yeah, of course you like the Craven one.
Yeah, so it's great. That's why.
I like, and I'm not sure whether I like this one more or the
part 1 of this.
Or the part 1 of this.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I'd say probably part 1's slightly above, but like they're like neck and neck.
Yeah, but yeah, as a conclusion, this is really good.
Yeah.
Any more thoughts on it?
I think that pretty much like sums it. Like I kind of like the only thing I could probably say is that like maybe it could have gone on for a bit more. Like it seemed a bit rushed, but in a good way. That's probably my only criticism of it. But yeah, like it's great. And like the only thing is Spider-Man's like, oh, this is my greatest villain, and I beat him in one episode. But that's TV for you, isn't it?
Well, I guess he also has to beat him kind of fast, otherwise he would just like completely destroy his life forever.
Yeah.
The only thing is, right, now that Eddie doesn't have the symbiote, does he not know about Peter Parker?
It's a good question, actually.
Because if he got the knowledge of that stuff from the symbiote, does that mean he's just, for plot reasons, he might need to?
Yeah.
Then again, also, if Eddie Brock just went to the Bugle and was like, Peter Parker's Spider-Man, they would be like, oh my god, fuck off.
Get the fuck out of it.
Yeah, you've lied and you've got things wrong for so long. You thought that random scientist guy was a lizard monster. Yeah. You lied about Spider-Man stealing stuff. You've been fired multiple times. You're clearly a sleaze and a weirdo.
You're a disgraced journalist at this point.
Yeah, so you come in and you just accuse one of our staff of being Spider-Man. Like, that's fucking nonsense.
It's ridiculous.
So I guess it wouldn't work.
They do that Spectacular Spider-Man, don't they, as well?
I can't remember.
Yeah, I think they do. Like that guy's Spider-Man. They have this whole like inquest into like him being Spider-Man.
Yeah,
really
I do kind of like that. They do that a bit in the Stanley comics sometimes. Like there's an issue where it's a big tease, or I think it might be even on the cover of the issue, is Doc Ock unmasking Peter Parker in front of loads of people. But the way it plays out in the issue is that they're fighting, and I think something happens, like for some reason Spider-Man, he's really ill, or something has happened to him where his powers are in flux, but for whatever reason he's fighting really poorly.
Yeah.
But he has to fight Doc Ock, and he fights him and gets his ass kicked and unmasked. But because he fought him so badly, everyone, including Doc Ock, goes, he came here because Spider-Man was too cowardly to fight him, so Peter Parker stepped up to try and fight him and got his ass kicked. And he's kind of stupid for trying that, but that makes more sense than Spider-Man got his ass kicked and his Peter Parker. And they do a lot of those things where...
because you think about it, like, Peter Parker's the most obvious choice of being Spider-Man. That it doesn't make sense that he's Spider-Man, if that makes sense. You'd be upset you didn't think of that. You'd be like, oh, fuck, obviously it's Spider-Man. And, like, if you're Dr. Octopus, your ego would be like, no, it must be someone more complicated otherwise.
Yeah, or it's like, I don't know, if the first place that Banksy exhibited his art was just like, it was the owner of that place, and they're like, oh, it was him.
Yeah.
You know, you'd be like, oh, well, that's kind of stupid. Why would he do that? Why would he play it that close?
Yeah.
Yeah, who would take photos of themselves for a living? And
every time someone wants to get Spider-Man, they go to Peter Parker, they just kidnap one of Peter Parker's, like, loved ones. So, obviously, every time you see him, he has motivation to be Peter Parker.
There's also, I'm trying to think, there's another one which is really elaborate. Actually,
there's one in this series, isn't there? Where, like, they can't take off his mask, so, that can't be Peter Parker because Spider-Man's...
Yeah, let's not go into that because I remember that too, but I think that might even be this season, but...
Shit.
Maybe even soon, but... In the comics, I just remember that there was a guy who was, what's he called? He's called Frederick Foswell, I think.
He sounds fascinating.
Yeah, and he was the big man. He was a crime boss called the Big Man.
Really?
Yeah, and he was kind of cool, actually. He was like, he had this weird mask that he wore that was just like a porcelain mask or something. And he wore a top hat and he was on, like, he had platform shoes.
Oh.
So he just looked like a tall guy. Oh. He was kind of creepy, and he had, like, he was a crime boss, and it turned out he was like, oh shit, it was this reporter for the Bugle. But then he goes to prison, he comes out, and they just hire him again. And he actually does reform.
Yeah.
Even though Spider-Man follows him around a lot, thinking he's the Green Goblin for a while. But yeah, it turns out he's kind of cool, and he starts investigating Peter Parker because he's like, how's this guy getting photos? He starts following him around, and he sees... I think this might have been actually in the Shocker issue. Yeah. But I just didn't bring it up last week because I skipped over it. But he follows Peter Parker into an alley where he's changing, and Spider-Man realizes someone's following him. And he's like, oh shit, this guy knows I'm Spider-Man now. And the guy knows because he saw Peter Parker go in, Spider-Man leave. Yeah. But then he does an elaborate thing where he goes back into the alley, has a conversation with himself. Yeah. With Foswell around the corner, and then uses webs to like puppet the costume and make it look like it swings away, and then he's left like that darn Spider-Man always leaving without saying goodbye. Yeah. And then Foswell's like, oh shit, they're just mates.
They're in cahoots.
Yeah.
How often does he puppeteer the empty suit? Like.
Yeah, I off the top of my head twice. We already talked about one of them from this Spider Slayer episode.
Yeah, it's actually fairly useful for this kind of thing. Spider-Man Master Puppeteer.
Looking up at the sky on a night like this, it's easy to believe that we're not alone. I wonder what's out there.
That's exactly what I was wondering, too.
Speaking of those classic issues,
Oh, yeah.
We can go into the origin and we can finish off what we were talking about in bit parts throughout this series.
We can really just dive in now. And
Yeah,
just
okay,
swing
like,
around.
and you were talking about the idea of wishing that this maybe was spread out over more episodes.
Yeah.
With the tease of Venom, and they definitely do that in the comics because so back in it's 1985, right, when
Yeah. Peter gets rid of the suit.
Peter gets rid of the suit, and then you have a few little small things happen in the years. They clearly like planned this a few years ahead, or maybe they didn't, but either way, in 1986, in the Web of Spider-Man 18,
Yeah.
you see an unknown person who's just sort of in a crowd pushes Peter Parker in front of a subway train,
Oh, shit.
and he like gets out of the way just in time. But he's freaked out because he's like, my spider sense didn't go off. What the hell? Who
Yeah.
pushed me? And
Yeah.
he just doesn't find out.
Oh, fuck.
In Web of Spider-Man 24 from 1987, Peter Parker like climbs out of a window and starts climbing on the wall to change into Spider-Man.
yeah.
At which point, a black arm comes through a window and like pulls him off, and he almost falls to his death because he doesn't have his web shooters on.
Yeah.
And he just about survives. And he's like, "Who did that?" And
Yeah.
they presumably saw me as Peter Parker. What the hell? And he's paranoid, but again, doesn't know who it was. And obviously, we all know they're both Brock.
Yeah.
Then during this time, he's gone back to the red and blue suit,
Yeah.
like before. But during this time, he's also seeing Black Cat,
Okay.
and Black Cat thinks that the black suit was sexier,
Of course she does.
so she makes him a cloth version of it.
Okay.
So he's wearing the symbiote Spider-Man like design.
But it's like a cloth suit.
Yeah, so he's still got because I think that was part of like after they got rid of it. I think fans really really liked that design.
But isn't that how he got it?
Yeah, they didn't like the idea that he had like basically magic powers on top of his spider powers,
Yeah.
and this was kind of the best of both worlds.
Yeah.
So he's wearing this suit, and then back in all the way in 1988,
Yeah.
in the Amazing Spider-Man 299, is when you get your first properties or your first look at Venom.
Yeah.
Basically, at this point, Mary Jane and Peter are living together. They have an apartment together.
Yeah.
And obviously Peter's wearing his black suit, and she gets home one night and she looks in the shadows. She sees a big white spider
Yeah.
and the white eyes, and she goes, "Oh, it's you, Peter. What are you doing? Why you stood in the shadows like that? That's weird." And then out of it stands Venom, who's
shit.
like a monstrous version. She's terrified. That's the end of the issue.
Oh, fuck.
It's a really good,
That's a really good cliffhanger.
especially since at this point you don't know all those things of him, being attacked by random people. You don't know that adds up to being him.
No.
Yeah, and obviously that's a terrifying thing for her. And they really play up on that because then in issue 300, Peter comes home and she finds MJ crouched in a corner in like the fetal position, tears streaming down her
God.
face, really fucked up. And he comes in the black costume.
Oh, shit.
And she's scared of him, and he calms her down, takes the mask, and says it's him. And she's describing it, and it's one of those things when she describes it, you realise how freaky it is, because she's like, it was like you, but it had a mouth growing out of the face.
Oh,
and
God.
it just sounds like a nightmare, right? And his immediate thing is like, oh, fuck, maybe the symbiote came back, and the symbiote's after me now. Or that it knew Mary Jane, or something's going on there.
Yeah.
But she can't stand being in the apartment anymore, so they just move.
Fuck.
And so he heads out. He immediately goes to... I like how pragmatic he is about this. He immediately goes to the Fantastic Four and gets the Sonic Blaster, like a massive purple gun we mentioned last episode.
Yeah.
He thinks symbiote's after him. Just goes this gun. He goes after it, but there's also scenes as well of like Brock following him in the crowd in the distance, and it's quite cool because you see him. I don't think they don't really play it out as much in the show, but you see him, Peter, being like, "I feel like someone's following me, but my spider sense isn't going off."
Yeah.
And in the background, you see Eddie Brock's following him, but like every time someone walks by him, his clothes change.
Oh, shit.
So he's obviously it's still his face or whatever, but he can just
Change
blend in and quickly change in the crowd to be the ultimate stalker. Much better stalker than Craven, who
Yeah.
claims to be the best stalker.
Just kind of sniffs chemicals until he finds Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Just high as fuck. Screams his name in like a fashion show. I'm hunting you, Spider-Man!
Then there's also another scene where Eddie breaks into a church. The church with the bell tower where he
Got his powers.
got it, where he got the symbiote and everything. The police officer comes in because he's like, you broke into this place, and it's a really creepy scene because then he just gets a strand of the symbiote, goes over to this guy, grabs his face, and just like suffocates him.
Oh shit.
And then he says, innocent death is always unpleasant, but nothing must stand in our way. Then cut to Peter is moving into a new place. Everyone's helping him do that.
Yeah.
He goes out with Robbie for a chat on a balcony and just sees Venom swinging by. And he's like, oh shit, Venom's probably heading to my old place. He doesn't know I've moved.
Yeah.
So he makes an excuse and leaves to chase after him. He follows Venom to an abandoned building where he seems to be living, which makes more sense than Eddie just getting a new place in this new thing in the episode. But then when he comes in, Venom's already waiting for him, and it was just a trap to lure him in. And he attacks him and says, the first thing he says to him is, welcome to my neighborhood, Spider-Man. Could you be my neighbor?
Oh god.
Yeah, he's really creepy and weird.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
Wow. I want to take a shower.
Yeah. Interesting wrinkle in this is that Eddie and Peter, as far as I know, haven't met at this point. Peter recognizes him as a reporter for the Daily Globe just from his photo, but not because he knew him. And there's a different reason for him like wanting revenge, but it's kind of the same thing. This is when Brock like explains who he is. And it turns out he was a reporter for the Daily Globe who worked on the case of the Sin Eater. And the Sin Eater, I mentioned it briefly in another episode. I think back in the Mysterio episode, we talked about Jean DeWolf.
Jean DeWolf.
The death of Jean DeWolf, who was a detective who was killed by a crazy gunman called the Sin Eater.
Okay.
And that whole case, Spider-Man was hunting after that. And at one point during the case, there was a guy who said he was the Sin Eater and was revealed to be a fake. It turned out Eddie Brock was the one who did the interview with this guy and reported it. And then Spider-Man was the one who revealed it was
a fake.
It was a fake, and it kind of ruined
His career.
His entire career.
Shit.
And it got him fired, and he ended up having to write for tabloid magazines and stuff.
Oh, fuck.
And then he says he took up bodybuilding to reduce stress, but it didn't work. He became suicidal, so he goes to a church to like sort of beg for forgiveness for like having those thoughts or whatever. And it just so happens to be the same bell tower where he's removing the suit.
Okay.
And as he's like waiting there for him, the symbiote descends on him, which is actually kind of similar to the way that plays out in the Spider-Man 3 movie, as far as I remember.
Except like the reason he's there in the church is way dumber.
Why is he there in the movie?
He's praying for Jesus to kill Peter Parker.
Yeah. Although I like the scumbaggery of that, you know?
It's super scumbagger. Hey, Jesus, do me a favor and just kill this one dude who pissed me off.
Yeah, that's how Jesus works, right?
He's like your vengeance hitman. He's like the Baba Yaga of like the Spider-Man world.
John Wick, please kill Peter Parker.
He'd probably fucking do it as well.
Yeah, and apparently, part of the reason the symbiote went to him because it could sense his hatred for Spider-Man and sort of bonded with him for that reason.
Okay.
This is when he reveals why he's called Venom, because during this whole thing, Spider-Man says, "Who are you?" And he says, "You may call me Venom, for that's what I'm paid to spew out these days."
Wow.
Again, in that context, it kind of makes sense, but then if you get further away and it's like, I don't know, issue 500 of The Amazing Spider-Man, and like, oh, why is that guy called Venom again? It's like, because he used to write tabloid gossip celebrity pieces, I guess.
It's like, like having him called like call me TMZ.
Yeah, it's like when you have like if you have an email address or a username in something and it just sounds like a random assortment of things and people are like, oh, why'd you call that? And it's just an embarrassing thing.
Yeah.
From when you were like 12 or something, you're like, doesn't matter, I just won't tell you. Or I don't tell you why. Venom is a proper. If I was like 15 or something and I got superpowers, I'd be like, yeah, call me Venom. And then when I was like 25, I'd be like, fuck.
It's stuck with me now.
I should have called myself something cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the two of them start fighting. It's when he knows that, for sure this guy doesn't trigger my spider sense. And part of the thing as well, which they kind of do in the show, is that because he's a bodybuilder, the symbiote is sort of building on that as well. So he's even stronger because the base strength is stronger,
I guess.
And then the symbiote has the powers of Spider-Man. So it's like Spider-Man 1.5 or whatever. Because the spider power is on Peter Parker, who's just... Yeah. I guess Peter Parker doesn't work out. I don't remember seeing anything of Peter Parker working out.
To the gym.
He just lies about going to the gym because everyone's like, just sees him and he's just super buff when his shirt comes off. And like, you go to the gym? He's like, yeah, I guess.
Sure.
Man, that would be... You know what? If I got spider powers like that, wouldn't use it to fight crime. I just wouldn't go to the gym and just eat like shit.
Yeah, I suppose.
Can he get fat?
Can Spider-Man get fat? That's a good question.
Spider-Verse,
Oh, yeah.
Spider-Man gets fat.
But that's just like 40-year-old fat. It's not like obese. He's just got a bit of a belly.
Yeah, but it's still because of something he's doing.
Yeah.
He's still eating food and getting fat.
Do you reckon he had spider powers where he didn't like fight crime or anything like that? He just had the powers. Would you be like fat or would you just be like really buff?
I don't know.
And just like sat around like eating like McDonald's and just taking the bus everywhere and just smoking and drinking. Can Spider-Man get like diabetes, do you think?
Yeah, why not? I mean, he's got the proportional strength of a spider, but that doesn't say anything about like spiders being absolutely ripped, you know?
Like you don't know, spiders could be actually hench.
Yeah, I guess they're not fat.
No.
They
It's
got
not
fat ass.
spider, yeah.
They got fat asses. He doesn't get a fat ass though.
Yeah. Like it all goes straight to his thighs.
Yeah, anyway.
There's like a Weight Watchers for spiders or anything like that.
And that's when they kind of they do something interesting in this, which is, you know, when a story kind of, there's the obvious thing, like that's what a hero should do, and they just write it off immediately because he whips out the gun.
Yeah.
He's got that sonic blaster, shoots him with it, and it hurts him and defeats him. But basically, he realizes the symbiote, when he had it, he got rid of it before it bonded to him, whereas Eddie has just been stewing in his rage for like presumably, I don't know how much is in comic time, but you know,
At least 3 years.
well, 3 years in the comics, but you know, time works differently in the comics because Spider-Man isn't like, you know, 90
Yeah.
by today, so they just kind of
no.
it's kind of difficult to say how much time has passed, but presumably months and months
Yeah. Decent amount of time.
of wearing this costume and letting it do what it wants. So he
It's
realizes
like rage bodybuilding.
so he realizes he can't remove the suit that way,
Okay.
that if he does it's going to kill them both, and he doesn't want to kill Eddie.
Okay.
So he puts the gun down and he's like, fuck, I don't know how to fight this guy. So he just runs away. Like, I need to come up with a new plan.
Yeah.
But Venom recovers, grabs him, pulls him back, knocks him out in one punch.
Oh fuck.
This is when it gets stupid, right? Okay, I'm going to get an image up.
Oh no.
And this is...
Oh lord.
Venom gets goofy, like, right away. Spider-Man wakes up. He's webbed up, upside down,
Yeah.
inside the bell of the bell tower.
Oh shit.
And Venom is not as Venom. He's, you know how he can create any clothes.
Yeah.
He decides to dress as a priest. So there he is.
I mean, sure.
Yeah, it's a bit weird. And this plan is like really ludicrous, but his idea is, and I don't know how powerful giant bell tower bells are. I'm sure they are pretty powerful, but the idea is he's webbed him up inside there. When this strikes noon or whatever, what's it called, the clapper part of the bell will strike him.
Oh.
And you can't move, and and he says a line like, by the time it gets to 3 p.m. you'll be like smushed into nothing. And I don't know how accurate that is, but
I'm not sure about the logic behind that.
yeah, but either way it's not going to be nice.
It's not gonna tickle.
Yeah, so he just kind of leaves them there and then just like fucks off. And before the first one can hit him though, Spider-Man forces one hand out and he stops. Well, he tries to stop the bell, but it just hits his hand like twice and almost breaks his hand.
Oh shit.
And then the next time it does it, he grabs the clapper so that when it goes back, it pulls him out of the webbing.
Oh nice.
Venom then hears he's come out and comes out to fight him. Spider-Man gets up onto the roof of the bell tower, rips off a shard of like the metal tiling on the roof.
Okay.
And he thinks to himself, okay, that webbing that comes out of Venom's suit is organic. So he's like, okay, that's not matter being created out of nowhere. It must be coming from the symbiote itself. So it must make it out of the symbiote. It must have a limit.
Yeah.
So he just kicks Venom off the roof. And when he tries to web up, he cuts the web.
Okay.
And he just keeps cutting it with this piece of metal he's got until the symbiote suit just gets drained away into the webbing.
Okay.
So then Eddie hits the floor without the protection of the suit and just gets knocked out.
Oh god, nice.
But he's still got the symbiote on him. So he takes them back to the Fantastic Four, where I think everyone, it's a really weird detail that they go to the Fantastic Four's to the backs of the building, but the only one in is the Thing, who's like wearing a dressing gown and is like, oh, what do you want?
Yeah.
And they put him back in the same container they had the symbiote in previously, both Eddie and the symbiote. Yeah, and that's how he defeats him in the first one. And the idea is that they're going to keep him there until a cell can be made for him at the vault.
Okay.
And the vault is this big superhuman prison. in the Rocky Mountains.
Okay, which makes a lot more sense than just having them in a regular jail.
Yeah, it's kind of like how they briefly introduced the Raft in Captain America Civil War.
Okay.
It's a place to put superpowered people. And that's also from the comics of like they have different super prisons.
Okay, fair enough.
After that, Spider-Man goes home to Mary Jane, and she's like, I can't stand that suit anymore. You're going to be wearing this black suit of the thing that tormented me. And he's like, yeah, I know what you mean. He takes it off and he just throws it into the fire. And then she's like, look what I got. And she's got the red and blue, the classic red and blue. And he gives that to him. And then they embrace, and that's the end of issue 300.
Oh, nice.
It's actually, I haven't really been a huge fan of like a lot of the Spider-Man Tom Holland stuff, but I really like these issues. They're really good. Nice. I haven't really read much of the immediate aftermath, but there's a load of bullshit with him coming back, and then obviously there's Carnage, and we'll get into that shit in the future.
Oh, hell yeah.
But that's how Venom was introduced.
Nice. That's actually, I actually would have preferred that, where like let's had him teased.
Yeah, I do think it's a really cool detail. I don't know what it would have been like to be Spider-Man from buying these comics at the time. So I guess you would have had to have, in these issues, there's no reference to remember when that guy pushed you in front of the train.
Yeah.
So I guess, yeah, you would have had to have been reading Web of Spider-Man. But then it was the Web of Spider-Man issue 1 was when the suit comes off, I think. So all this stuff is spread across different issues, which is a bit complicated. I'm reading the classic issues at the moment, and I'm just getting to the point where a villain turns up and they're like, as first seen in, Spectacular Spider-Man 12, and I'm like, oh shit, I haven't read those yet.
Yeah,
it's already starting to split off into different series.
Yeah.
It's gonna take me a long time to read all this shit.
Yeah, like I still don't understand how that all works.
It's just money. Just there's a reason where you can get other Spider-Man comics on the stand without where you're using different writers and different artists, different production teams and stuff.
That's so wild.
It's just more money, right?
Yeah, fair enough. I guess, but it's like if under one production studio, it doesn't make any sense. Like it's confusing as hell.
Yeah, I guess they're not that related, but they have their own stories that run through it, and then occasionally if something major does happen, they'll just have a little editor's note that'll be like, if you're confused, this happened in this issue that's on stands now, go buy it.
And like canonically, it's the same Spider-Man, just doing different things.
Yeah. I don't know if there's certain points where it doesn't match up, but I don't know, it's kind of hard to tell.
Okay, fair enough. Well, I guess. Like, so they have like different Spider-Man issues where like it'd be like one would be Spider-Man on a Monday, another would be Spider-Man on a Wednesday, and another would be Spider-Man on a Friday or something like that.
Yeah, but they won't all come out the same week because these are like monthly. A lot of these are monthly comics. Most comics will come out every
so they have
month.
like one like every week for a month, but yeah, 4 different issues.
Yeah, well they'll be like, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know how it works now because there's a bunch of different spin-off stuff. Now they found new ways to spin off because they use the Spider-Verse stuff. Because now there'll be the Amazing Spider-Man with Spider-Man, and then there's Miles Morales Spider-Man, Morales.
Like the Ultimate Spider-Man.
Yeah, I'm not sure if it's called Ultimate Spider-Man anymore.
But it's the Ultimate It was the Ultimate Universe, which has now become the regular universe.
Yeah, so I don't think they call it Ultimate Spider-Man because I think that might be confusing. I think they just call it Spider-Man actually. And then there's Silk, who's another spider-related person.
You got like Spider-Gwen, I'm pretty sure.
Spider-Gwen's got her own series. There's the various clones of Spider-Man have their own series as well.
Yeah, good old Ben Reilly.
They brought Ben Reilly back, so now they can have a Scarlet Spider series again.
Okay.
And then Kane was Spider-Man. There's a spider clone called Kane. He's fucked up. There's a lot of shit, and also when it gets to the Spider-Verse crossover things, those things are ridiculous because you read like Spider-Verse issue 1, there'll be 3 alternate reality Spider people, and just so happens that they're all female versions of Spider-Man. They'll say, we'll go and do this thing, and then they run off, and then there'll be a little box saying, read more in the mini-series Spider-Women, issue 1 to 7. And every little group will spin off into their own things, and then you've got
one Spider-Man just like hanging around in his own comic, like, oh shit, where'd everyone go?
Yeah, and then you've got fucking like 5 different series running in tandem for this one event. Makes sense for money, I guess.
I guess, yeah, for money, but for anything else, not so much.
I don't know, are people buying comics anymore? Because I just read them on Marvel Unlimited, like that app, which means I'm not spending any more to read all those issues, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Just like, it's the set price. I just have to be 6 months behind.
Yeah. Well, this is fair
So
enough.
I don't know quite yet how much Spider's Man plays into the Spider-Geddon event, for instance, but I feel
God.
like I can wait because I've got another like fucking 1,000 comics to read.
That's fair enough, though. Like, which Spider-Man are we talking about? Spider-Man or Spider-Man?
Oh, Spider's Man.
Oh, of course.
But the Spider's Man. Oh yeah, the weird law bullshit for what?
Episode 2? No, episode 3, I think.
Yeah, we talk about back in like episode 3. We talk about the Spider's Men's.
The Spider's Men.
Yeah, but anyway, the lizardy, scaly Spider's Man
Oh, the one
never
who-
shows up again. He's in like the one. He's part of the Earth X shit, and he's just like in the background and doing a few weird things, and then he fucks off again. And then Spider's Man, that's made of spiders.
Okay.
He's a recent addition. I think he came out like maybe 2018 or 2019.
Oh, shit.
I've read one comic with him in.
Is it terrifying?
No, he kind of turns up and he's just like being fucking creepy, and everyone's like, "What the fuck is going on with this guy?"
Kill it with fire.
And then the other issues I haven't read yet.
Aw, I'm sad Spider-Man 2, like, he's Spider-Man's 2, to be honest. He probably, like, I'm hoping I had, like, a happy life. He found somebody on Tinder, and he's, like, shacked up with them, and he's a little, like, scaly, ugly kid, and that's it. Good old Spider-Man. He did
Yeah.
eventually fuck.
Well, moving sharply away from that.
Yeah, good call.
Let's go back to Venom.
Let's go back to Venom.
Yeah. So, do you have any closing thoughts on Venom? Like any versions of Venom that sound more appealing to you out of the Tom Hardy Venom and the comic Venom and the animated series Venom?
I feel like this is probably the best iteration of it.
Which one?
This one, 90s animated series. Spectacular, I like the idea, but I don't really like the Eddie Brock origin. I don't think that's as strong. And, like, let's talk about the Spider-Man 3 Venom, which is just a whole fucking thing. Like,
I like it in concept, I guess.
like the concept. And
I do. One thing I can't get behind, because people were really mad that it was Topher Grace.
I actually
because
kind of like that, though.
Well, because they really wanted him to be super buff dude, which Eddie Brock is.
Yeah.
But I don't think that's that central to Eddie Brock's character. One thing I guess I can understand people not being bummed out about is that Venom himself being a sort of a fairly slim, skinny character, maybe that looks better when he's bulky.
Yeah.
But in terms of the actual actor, fine, have Topher Grace.
As like a dark version of Peter Parker.
Yeah, he's
and
just
it
like
works.
slimy Peter Parker.
Yeah. And it works in that perspective, for sure. But, like, I guess from the actual Venom perspective, makes less sense. It looks like regular Spider-Man but with really bad teeth.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Sure. We'll have to go into that. I think we'll do the other day we did this our sort of our swing tangent thing on
Swing tangents, yeah.
on how Spider-Man plays into Infinity War and Endgame, and we're probably going to touch on the other movies at some point. And we'll definitely get to Spider-Man 3 at some point. I'm kind of interested in revisiting that because I think there's a lot of bullshit in it, but I also think that there's some stuff that people overlook because it's kind of good.
It's the chaotic neutral of Spider-Man films.
Yeah. I think there's definitely some really, really bad stuff in there, but then there's also
Some really interesting stuff.
yeah. I got like half an hour into it like a year ago, because I was bored and I was waiting for someone to get ready, and I was like, oh, it's on TV.
Yeah.
We got like half an hour in. I was like, this is actually kind of good, and then some really dumb shit happened, and I was like, oh fuck. And
That's
then,
why everyone hates it.
yeah, but then it got better again, and then I stopped watching. So I don't know.
I think that's also the internet thing of people got like dogpiling on like a movie being like, this is the worst thing ever.
People are still going on about Spider-Man 3 and Batman and Robin and
Batman and Robin is like, if you understand like what it's trying to do, is actually really, really entertaining and funny.
I wouldn't go that far. I'd say that it's when I was a kid, I loved it.
I kind of love it like as an adult. Like I can recognize that it's not a good.
When did you last watch it though?
3.5 years ago.
Oh really? You
Yeah.
actually did watch it as an
I actually
adult?
did watch, yeah.
Oh, because I thought you were going to say watch it when I was 10
No.
or something.
Like as an adult, as like a lover of bad films, I'm like, this is actually pretty stupid, but I'm actually down for its stupidity.
What about Batman Forever? Is that in the same category?
I don't like Jim Carrey. I really hate him in that like role. I feel Jim Carrey doesn't work as a villain.
I don't think there's anything wrong with it. That movie is just so weird because it's this weird mix of really, really light and really, really dark, which means that as a kid it really creeped me the fuck out. And I think Jim Carrey does some weird shit in there. I'm not really sure tonally what was going on.
And I don't like Val Kilmer as Batman.
Oh, that was fucking awful.
Yeah, he was terrible.
Sorry, Val.
He's almost like a punchline at this point, Val Kilmer.
Val Kilmer is great in. You seen Kiss Kiss Bang Bang?
I haven't actually. No.
You should watch that. It's a Shane Black movie. Robert Downey Jr.'s in it.
I think I've heard of it, actually, now you think about it.
It's a really good, just like comedy, like a dark comedy mystery, and Val Kilmer's in it, and he's really fucking funny.
Yeah.
And that's made me like Val Kilmer a lot more. But he's really just nothing in.
He brings nothing to the role.
Yeah. Whereas George Clooney wasn't good, but like it wasn't really. It definitely wasn't like he was the weak point in this, you know.
Right. They didn't have much Bruce Wayne in that movie, if I can recall. There's a bit like a subplot with him and Alicia Silverstone and that whole like Bat family thing going on.
No one in that movie comes off as being really good.
I like Arnold Schwarzenegger in that movie.
Yeah, but you're not liking it because you're like, wow, what an amazing performance and intricate character. You're like, I like him because he says dumb ice puns and he says it with absolute, sincerity.
He's
and
full
glee.
Schwarzenegger. It's great.
Cool party.
So many good ones. The bat skates, which is fantastic. Like I could go on about like this dumb shit that I enjoy in this movie. The fucking.
What would happen if they made a Spider-Man movie that was like that? Where it was that tone where it was super campy,
Yeah.
and over the top and vibrant colors and silly things happening and very, very aimed at only kids. That kind of thing.
Like
Would
the
you?
60s cartoon.
Yeah, but the 60s cartoon is very kind of like slow and I don't know, not necessarily. I don't think the 60s cartoon's necessarily that
Silly.
It is silly, but it's more like I don't know. It's definitely not fast moving or like over the top or anything.
It's not like it's ton of like cocaine beforehand.
Well, yeah, it's like all the animation's kind of stilted, and it's just it's Spider-Man going, "Hey, you, stop over there," and then like cut to the Electro stood holding a bag full of cash.
Yeah.
And then he slowly zaps him with bolt lighting and he dodges out of the way, which is, I don't know, I don't think of that as, I guess it is campy.
You won't escape once I'm fully regenerated.
Don't overcharge yourself, glitter puss.
No web can stop me.
What I mean to say is, say like Adam West Batman, what if they made a Spider-Man movie like that? Would you be like, oh, I love this dumb bullshit, or would you be, get away from my Spider-Man?
It's a good question, actually.
Because are you liking Batman and Robin because you're like, you don't give that much of a shit about Batman? Maybe?
That's also I care very little about Batman. I think he's an overrated character.
Oh shit.
Yeah, I don't like him at all. But like that's a good question actually. The animated series is a bit like that in that respect. It's a bit goofy, a bit silly. It doesn't like go full like Hanna-Barbera with it.
Spider-Man animated series.
Yeah, it doesn't go full like Hanna-Barbera, like to that level of manic crazy. You could probably do it as like a cartoon, but a live action version.
Well, I'm talking about a hypothetical where they do. So, if you're talking about whether they could do it or not, they can do it.
Okay, so like I think it can be done with Spider-Man. I probably could fuck with it, depending on how they go with it.
Okay. Well, they're never going to do it.
They're never going to do it because Spider-Man's like. But I feel like Spider-Man inherently is a very like teenage audience.
Maybe I don't know. I think like kids really like Spider-Man, even the ones who don't understand
the dynamics of it.
I think the reason that Spider-Man's really big is that kids really like Spider-Man because he's young and he's
colourful
and he's over the top and he makes jokes and just like the concept of him is fun, and I think he lasts and he remains big with people because they become teenagers and they relate to his actual issues, and then the stuff like more like in these comics where he's living with Mary Jane and he's an adult. Yeah. There's stuff in there where you relate to it as an adult because you're like, I don't know, him being late for college or him missing a date and struggling with those kind of aspects of his life so that it lasts into the future.
I think that's the inherent difference between the characters, Batman and Batman. Like,
yeah.
I don't think necessarily that the Spider-Man character works with that, but Peter Parker doesn't work as well. And I don't think you can have like a Peter Parker story with him being super ridiculous because what would you do? Whereas, like, if you look at, like, the Flash TV show, which is that kind of vibe completely, where there's dumb shit happening in every episode, I feel that works a lot better for that kind of campy, stupid bullshit. Because the Raimi series goes campy at times. It goes very campy, very goofy. But, like, the Parker stuff always grounds it. And I don't think you get that, like, Batman and Robin levels of campy. I don't think it's possible with Spider-Man, but I'd like to see them try. It's a challenge.
Anything is possible.
Yeah. I'm challenging Sony to try and make that movie because at this point, why not? to answer your question in a very short-winded manner, yes. Like, I think you've forgotten your question by this point.
Yeah, I don't know why we're talking about Batman now.
Neither do I. I've forgotten it. I'm assuming this means that we come to the end of our podcast.
All right, everyone, chill.
That's the end of episode 10 of That Nice Spider-Man Show. If you have any opinions about Venom, which I'm sure you do, please tell us on our Twitter page and or our email.
Yeah.
If you still use email. I don't know if people do now.
Send questions in. Like the question I asked about Adam West, Batman and Robin bullshit.
Yeah.
Yeah, weird questions like that.
Please, as many as you can. Please send us an email.
Why don't you guys like Eminem like I do?
Yeah. He's so cool. He's 20 years out of relevance, but he's cool. We'll get into the Venom later. But yeah, please send us an email. Send us a tweet. Follow us on Twitter actually as well. Yeah. Subscribe to our podcast. Do all that thing.
Check out the blog as well.
Absolutely. Do some reading.
Yeah, because there's extended episode notes. Some of the stuff we talk about in the comics add up there so that you have a bit of a visual aid for what's going on.
Absolutely. All that information will be in the description for the podcast episode. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, which we have now. We're all over the place, guys. We're all over the place. That's great. Do you have any last words for us, Jack, on this episode 10?
As Michelle Williams said in the 2018 Venom movie, I'm sorry about Venom.
You heard it here, folks.
Venom. My, if you ever heard what I heard in the night, what a fright, must have been a parasite in my past life. I don't wanna ever come down from a high. My soul was sending to the sky, it's just you and I. Gone, but I'm feeling too alive, trying to get me out of spite. Someone's gotta pay, I ain't talking big amounts. Some kind of physical pain, some kind of traumatic shit. Niggas wanna see dead bodies, probably not, they ain't rolling with no automatic clips. Moving scatty, all erratic and shit. Niggas pussy looking batty and shit. Oh, you man, then come at me, you prick. Make a move, better pattern it quick. I assume you'll be coming for blood. That makes two of us, Venom.